So guys, in the last class, majorly we discussed what data sufficiency questions, and there were few data sufficiency questions that were remaining exactly. And a lot, what we discussed in the last class was a lot, which was a direct type of a question. So a lot of informations were not given to you in the question. So what we'll do right now in today's class, that we'll discuss the questions where there are some information given to you in data sufficiency. Give me a minute, please. Can we try solving question number 10? Now, before you start solving question number 10, please be sure that there is some information given to you in the question. There's some info given to you in the question. Now, it's all up to you as to how you approach these questions. So once please check, can you please take 2 minutes for this? So last class, we discussed majorly the questions that was direct type of a question. What we are doing here is that we are trying to discuss some questions where there are information, explicit information is given to you in the question. So can you please try take 2 minutes and do this?
Rahul, do you want to try? Do you want us to try solving this even if we've done it at home?
Yeah. Please, 100%. That's absolutely necessary. So what's the answer? Please tell.
I got A.
Okay. Jade, Pame, Tame, Ankit. Answers, please. Srisha, Riddhi. Answers, please. You see how problem solving will be an easy one. But let's first tackle the data sufficiency once. Amit A, okay. Anyone, Jadip? Your answer? Riddhi C. Prahast, answers. Divya, answer. So see here, in the last class, I have told you that if that now this, when you look into this question, guys, it looks to be a easy one because end of that the question is asking is x an even integer. But trust me, this is a classy tough problem. If you use numbers, you are royally screwed up, I can tell you. The point is, please understand the type of a question. So I've told you very clearly in the last class, your first job is to understand it's a is type of a question or what type. On a very frank note, your first job in any data sufficiency question from any chapter, it doesn't matter at all because data sufficiency is the type of a question that can come from any chapters. But after understanding whether it's a is type or a what type question, your second job should be to see what is the structure of that question, whether it's a direct question or there is some information given to you in the question. 1 second, guys. I've sent a mail to everyone saying that the length remains the same.
Rahul, there's an issue with the mic.
No, I'm telling you, okay, there's some person who's asking me what is the link of the class, and I've sent a mail saying that link remains the same. Acha, listen. So it's a is type of a, in last class, what we discussed was is type of a question and what type of a question. And there are two structures of a question that also I've discussed that it's a direct question or some information is given to you in the question. So in last class, we majorly discussed how to approach a direct problem. Now in this class, we'll see exactly how do you approach a question when some information is given to you. I think I'm audible to all of you. Now it says that if x, y, z are integer and x, y plus z is an odd integer. Now this bit of information is given to me. And now the question you're asking is x an even integer. So when you look into the question, guys, question seems to be really easy one. But trust me, this is not easy one. This is how GMAT traps you. So it says is x an even integer. So what was your approach? Can anyone tell me what exactly is the approach that you have taken for this question?
Solving equations together. So xy plus z equals odd and xy
Perfect.
plus
So
z equals even.
100%, 100%. So guys, please try and generalize the entire method. Understand that if there is some information given to you in the question, and this information is in terms of a equation, I've told you very clearly in the last class that informations in the questions are not to beautify the question. It needs to be used while you are solving the statements. So when you have this information given to you in the question, and this information is in terms of a equation, statement number one is in terms of a equation, statement number two is in terms of a equation. So what is our job over here? Our job over here is to use this particular information with statements. Now, how do you use it? I've told you in the last class that if there are two equations given to you and you are asked to use these two equations, what exactly you do? You simply try and combine those two equations. That's as simple as it is. And how do you combine two equations? You simply try and solve those two equations. So let's see over here. Statement number one is nothing but an equation. It says xy plus xz is even integer. What is given to me in the question? That xy plus z is odd integer. Now, what exactly I'm supposed to do with the two equations? I simply try and solve those two equations. Now, if I subtract it, my xy gets cancelled, and I have xg minus z. Even minus odd is what? 3 minus 2, 1. That is odd. Now, when you take z common, you have x minus 1 as odd. Simple, straightforward logic. Now, tell me product of two numbers are odd when? When both are odd. Simple. You can take 2 cross 3, that is even. You can take 2 cross 2, that is even. A cross B can only be odd when both are odd. So when A is also odd, B is also odd. So x minus 1 is odd. So if x is equal to what? Odd plus 1, that is x is equal to even number. So I can say this statement is sufficient. Now my simple job is, please understand guys, this particular information is, I need to also use this information with the second statement. Straightforward logic. And second statement is also given in terms of a equation to you. The information is in terms of a equation to you. So what technically you do with the two equations? When you combine two equations, you try and do nothing except solving it. Now just solve it. Xy plus z is odd integer. Now if I subtract, nothing gonna cut at all. So I prefer to add it. You can subtract, add and subtract, do whatever you want. So if I take y common here, I'm adding it. So if I add it, I'll get y plus xy plus xg plus z. And odd plus odd is what? Even. 3 plus 3 is 6. Now you take y common from here, it is 1 plus x. You take z common here, it is 1 plus x. This is nothing but even number. Now you take 1 plus x common, you have y plus z, that is even. Now product of two numbers are even. What does this mean? That this can be even, this can be even, this can be even, this can be odd, this can be odd, and this can be even. Now see, 1 plus x can be even also. So when 1 plus x is even, x is equal to odd. But 1 plus x can be odd as well. So when 1 plus x is odd, x is equal to even. So from statement number 2, I'm getting x as even also, x as odd also. This is not sufficient. So I'll go with the answer A. Please tell me, anyone had any problem in understanding? It's not that you were not able to do the question, but is that clear how you approach such type of a question?
Rahul, can you
Anyone, any
please,
problem?
yeah, can you please like repeat the first problem again?
Which one? This one?
Yeah,
Question
first
number
one.
10.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
First one.
it's simple over here. One second. Jadip, for you, right? Jadip.
No, no. Ankit, Ankit.
Oh, Ankit, see here. What exactly I'm telling here, Ankit? That this is a question given to you. That x, y, z are integers and xy plus z is an odd integer. Is x an even integer? The point here is, Ankit, that when you look into this question would sound very easy to you. All I'm trying to say you, in the last class, what we solved, a lot of questions were direct questions where you just have to analyze the questions and go ahead in the statement. But in this type of a question, where some information is given to you, how you need to approach the question that I'm trying to say you. Now, this information, this particular information is given to you in terms of equation, right, Ankit?
Right.
Agreed? Any doubt over here?
No, no, no doubt.
Absolutely clear.
Yes.
Now, this information needs to be used while you are solving the statement for sure, Ankit, because informations are not given to beautify the question, right?
Right.
Am I clear?
Yes, yes, clear out.
So this information is in terms of a equation. The point is, Ankit, the point here comes is that how do you use the information while you are trying to solve the question? Now, the point here is very clear. Ki this is the information that is given to you. Is it in this is in terms of a equation? Statement number one is in terms of equation. Statement number two is in terms of equation. So how do you use two equations? You simply try and solve those two statements, right? Two equations. So what I have
Right.
done is that once I have used the information with the statement number one, once I have used the information with the statement number two. Now the point is, guys, the moment you look into this question, straight away you will start thinking about numbers. Ki, Rahul, can I do by taking numbers and all? And trust me, this is one question. When you read this, in exam, your conscience will not allow you to say, Ki, Ankit, move on with this question. Because technically, you will start feeling that this is a very simple question. Because the question is asking just is X an even integer or odd integer. But if you take numbers, you are royally screwed up. Why? I'll tell you the reason over here. Anyone has any doubt in this process? Mrinal, is this clear?
Uh, Rahul, in the second part,
Huh.
so you have taken in the cases that you have taken, so A and B are even, so
Yeah,
x plus 1 equal to even, so x equal to even minus 1, so x is odd, right?
right, right. And but 1 plus X can be odd also. See here, odd into even is also even, right? 3 into 2 is
Yeah, yeah.
6. Agreed.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
the point come here, Prahast, is that when people look into this question, they find it to be very simple one. If you don't know this process, I can promise you, you will end up wasting almost 7 to 8 minutes in this question. You might get an answer, you might not get an answer, because what will happen is that when you take numbers, your number should 100 satisfy this statement. And then the number should satisfy this particular information. And then you go and predict, or then you conclude that X is even or not. The point here is that even if you take one set of a number, you will be tempted to take two sets of a number for sure, another set for sure, and you might end up wasting 5 to 6 minutes for this question, sometime even for 10 minutes. And if you don't believe me, you can try numbers and do it for yourself. Absolutely simple logic. If you don't believe me, you can try numbers and do it for yourself, and you will realize that how complicated these questions can get. So it's a simple thing, guys. If you understand that there is some information given to you in the question, there should be 100% thought process in your head as to how I use this particular information. And if this information is in terms of a equation given to you, and statements are in terms of a equation given to you, you can easily do it within 2 to 3 minutes. Easily. Now imagine I'll give you one more question exactly based on this logic. Exactly based on the same logic. Can we try solving question number 17, please? Exactly same logic. Don't do anything else as to what I've told you right now. Don't use your head. Just close your eyes and do what I've asked you. You will be able to do this question in hardly 20 seconds. It should not take you more than 2 minutes, guys. This isn't D. Okay. Sisha, D. Perfect. Please your answer, please. Amit, Ankit. Sajit, answer. Say D, fine. Tanishika, answers please. First D, Tanishika D. Perfect. So what exactly? It is simple logic. There is some information given to you if R plus S is greater than 2T. This is in terms of equation. Simple logic. Look into here. And now the question is asking is R greater than T? It's straightforward logic over here. If R plus S is greater than 2T, this is the information that is given to you. What I've told you, this information is in terms of equation. Now there is a statement number one, which is in terms of equation, inequality equation. Let it be equation, or when I say you equations and there is an equality sign, it straight away means an equality equation. And second is in terms of equation. So what is my job over here? My job over here is to close the eyes and use this particular information with the statements. Information is in terms of equation, statements are in terms of equation. Using two equation is nothing but solving those two equations. That's it. Now see over here, I'm trying to use this particular information with the question. With my statement. So t is greater than s. This is one information given to you. What is here? R plus s greater than 2t. Just add this. It is r plus s plus t greater than s plus 2t. SS cancels out. T goes that side. R is greater than t. Sufficient. Check here again. This is second is r plus s greater than 2t. Now if I add this, what I get? 2r plus s is greater than s plus 2t. If I cancel s, I'm left with 2r greater than 2t. I can cancel 2 and say r is greater than t. Can I say this is sufficient? So answer is D in 1 second. Anyone, any problem? Mrinal, is this clear?
I didn't get you, Rahul.
Where, Amit?
Yeah. Means
Amit,
R plus S is greater than 2t.
no, I have
Then,
done nothing, Amit. I have just told you this is one equation given to you in the information, right?
yeah,
So this is the type of a question where you have some information given to you in the question. Agreed?
correct.
Jadip, is this clear?
Yes.
Any problem here, Jadip? Now, what I have told you, if there is some information that is given to you in the question, this information is not to beautify the question. 100% this information needs to be used while you are solving the statement. Jadip, any problem here? So now it says statement number one, Amit, says T is greater than S, right, Amit?
Yes, sir.
And this is the equation, Amit. And there's information given to me. So I have to use this information with the help of statement number one. Am I right?
Yes.
So I've just done nothing, Amit. I've just solved it. The way I did this problem. Check here. There's a lot of sound coming, Amit. The way I did this problem, Amit, I have exactly followed the same thing. I have not done anything separate at all. Is it clear, Amit?
Rahul, just a basic question. So
Yeah.
when you did elimination method, right? Slightly confused if it's in greater than or less than, how would that, it is just going to act like an equal to, right? Or can you just give a little more clarity on how do we kind of put the equation?
Yes. I'll just tell you. So see here. If it is x square greater than x, you can't cut this and say x greater than 1. This is not allowed. But x square minus x is greater than 0. This is allowed. Okay. So you can always transpose the variable from one side to other side. But you can't cut and cross multiply. I did nothing, Amit. So here when I took this, imagine. So I can transpose the variable, that is r plus s plus t minus s greater than 2t. Now I can cancel this s and minus s. Agreed, Sajid?
Rahul, my doubt is R plus S is greater than 2t. So in the left hand side you have added t, and the right hand side you have added s. This is
I
confusing.
have not done anything. I have just added these two equations. That's it. I have added this. So it imagine 10 is greater than 5, 20 is greater than 10. Can I say 10 plus 20 is greater than 5 plus 10?
Yeah.
That's what I've done.
Okay,
So I
okay.
have done here is nothing but I have added both the equations. That is t plus r plus s greater than s plus 2t. In that I got ss
Understood,
cancels out.
understood.
Is that clear? Anyone, any doubt over here? Rati, any problem? Tanishika, any problem? Siri, is this all clear? Mrinal, any problem here? No. Perfect. Shimran, Sajid, Pratish, any problem? Now imagine I give you one bit more twisted question. I still remember this was a question in my GMAT exam. Exactly the same question with the same variable. Can we try doing question number 13, please? Now here you can't add and subtract. Be very sure about it because the information is something different and the statements are something different. Can you please take 2 minutes and think on the question? It isn't D. Okay. Anyone else? Amit, answers please. Ankit, answers. Read now. Is this clear? Rahast, answer. Jadip, I think your mic is on. Beautiful. See here now what we need to do over here. The question is first is type. But now what is the structure of the question? That we have some information given to us in the question itself. Am I right? There's a information that is given to you in the question. So we 100% need to use this particular information with the help with the statement, because we cannot solve the question without the information for sure. If there is information that is given to you, time and again, I'm trying to say this is not to beautify the question. 100% you have to analyze a lot before you're marking. So in this case, what I can do is that first I can go with the easy option. Option number 2 says m is less than 0. What is the information given to me? That mv is less than pv is less than 0. Can I say mv is less than 0? This is given to me. And if m is less than 0, v has to be positive. It's a second job. Can I say this is sufficient? Anyone who didn't follow? Amit, Ankit, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Any problem? Now come down to statement number 1. So statement number 2, we can do it in a second. It hardly takes 2 seconds if you analyze in the way I have asked you to do. Now come down to statement number 1. Now statement number 1 says M is less than P. My information says MV is less than PV is less than 0. Obviously, I can't solve this two equation because they are in a very different format. So I can't do plus, minus and all. This is gone. But if I can't do that, it doesn't mean that we should just leave it and say it is not sufficient. We should 100% try and analyze. So we'll have to play around with the information. So what is the information trying to say you? MV is less than PV is less than 0. Can I do this? MV minus PV is less than 0. Anyone? Please tell me if anyone has any doubt over here. Can I do this? Yes or no?
Yes.
Because imagine MV is less than PV is less than 0. Let's say PV is minus 9, which is less than 0. Now MV has to be less than minus 9. Let's say it is minus 10. Now if you do minus 10 plus 9, it has to be less than 0. Whenever in inequality you are confused, straight away come down on the numbers and make things very clear for yourself. There should be no confusion at all. When I say minus 10 is less than minus 9 is less than 0, can I say minus 10 plus 9 is less than 0? I have done exactly the same thing. I have done nothing at all. I have just done MV minus PV is less than 0. Now if I take V common, I get M minus P less than 0. That is A and B less than 0. If A, B is less than 0 means A and B are of opposite sign. What is given to me in statement number 1? That M minus P is less than 0. So if M minus P is less than 0, can I say V is straight away positive? Sufficient. Answer is D. Anyone who didn't follow? Mrinal, is this clear?
Can you repeat it once? The equation which is MV, the way you replace 10 and minus 9, that is.
No, I'm just trying to say you okay, PV is less than 0. Take some number. You take minus 5. Minus 5 is less than 0, right?
Yeah.
Now it says MV is less than minus 5 as well. You can take some
Minus
number.
7.
Let's say minus 6.
Minus 6, yeah.
So if I bring now minus 6 plus 5, can I say it is less than 0? Is this making sense?
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I have done over here. That's it. Because see, if you don't learn to play around with the information, guys, you will have to take numbers and it will go for a long. Like imagine if I can do this question by taking numbers also. Come, let's look into statement number 1 now. Now, please understand this with the numbers. What happens that the understanding is very, very crystal clear. So let me do statement number 1 with help of number. Statement number 2 is very clear to you that this is sufficient. Now, M is less than P. Take some number. Let's say I take M as 5, which is less than 10. Now it says MV less than PV less than 0, right? So from this particular information, can I conclude that M and P are of same sign and V is opposite sign? Obviously, because if you say PV is less than 0 and you say V negative, then P has to be positive. And now MV is less than 0. It means if V is negative, M has to be positive. I can't say V negative here and V positive here, no? So looking at this information, what can I conclude? Can I conclude one thing, that M and P are of same sign, and V is opposite sign. Anyone, any problem over here? Now I'm taking numbers and doing it. Any problem, anybody? Please tell me. No? Perfectly fine. Now let's say M is less than P. I have taken M as 5, P as 10. Imagine I'm considering V as minus 1. Now if I do this, then this particular information should satisfy. It means it means 5 into negative 1 should be less than 10 into negative 1. And this should be less than 0. That is minus 5 less than minus 10 less than 0. This is impossible condition in math. This is not satisfying my information. See, minus 5 can never be less than negative 10. Minus 5 is greater than negative 10. Right? Now you take a positive number. So now you take M and P negative and V positive. So let's say M I have taken as minus 10, P as minus 5, V as positive 1. Now see, minus 10 into 1 less than minus 5 into 1 less than 0. That is minus 10 is less than minus 5 less than 0. This is satisfying my information is straightforward. So I will have to consider this. And then if I consider this, I'm getting V as positive. So sufficient. So it's up to you whether you want to go ahead with the number or you should learn to play around with the information. Is that clear?
But generally, Rahul, like if equations are given to us, so our first approach should be towards
Always to
solving
solve
the.
it, always to solve it. But in this
Okay.
case, you can't solve because here there is just one inequality sign, Prahas, and here
Mm-hmm.
there are two inequality signs. So you can't solve it.
Mm-hmm.
So it won't happen always. But if there are two equations given to you, one equation is information, another two equations are in a statement, you are supposed to close your eyes and straight away go and solve it. Let it be any type of a question from any chapter. It doesn't matter at all. So I'm only telling you, I only generalize the stuff which can be used anywhere, irrespective of the chapter you are doing.
Okay.
Agreed? Perfect.
Yes,
So
sir.
these were the bit of questions where some information, how you approach, where some informations are given to you. Can we do one or two more such type of? Can we do question number 12? Very simple question on a very frank note. Very simple question, but yes, it might, if you do not understand it properly, it might take a bit of time. Can you please try? Again, I'm telling you, be good with this chapter. Entire math will be taken care of. I promise. And if it doesn't happen, you come and fight with me as much as you can. Entire math, when I'm telling you, I mean that your arithmetic will also be fine. It's just that you have to spend some time on this chapter, and you see exactly how beautifully your brain works in maths. So the first statement of the question says what? 1 kilogram of a certain coffee consists X kilogram of type 1 and Y kilogram of type 2 coffee. Can I say X plus Y is equal to 1 kg coffee? Tell me. This is the information that is given to you in the question. That
Yeah.
X plus Y is equal to 1 kg coffee. Now
Yeah.
here they say the cost of brand is $C per kilogram, whatever, where C is given as C is equal to 6.5x plus 8.5y. And the question is asking, is x less than 0.8? This is my question. Simple, straightforward question. What is statement number 1? Statement number 1 says you y is greater than 0.15. But just because y is greater than 0.15, how do I? So my first job is to what? Convert everything in terms of x. What is information given to me? X plus y is equal to 1.
One.
So y is what? 1 minus x greater than 0.15. That is minus x is greater than 0. Minus 0.85. That is if I multiply negative, sign will change. X is less than 0.85. If x is less than 0.85, x can be 0.82 and x can be also 0.75. So when it is 0.82, it is greater than 0.80, no situation. When it is 0.75, it is less than 0.80, yes situation. So I have a yes or no situation. Can I say statement number 1 not sufficient? Simple, straightforward logic. There's no sort of deviations at all. Anyone who didn't follow, please tell. Amit, Ankit, any problem here? Jadip, any problem?
No doubt. No
Mrinal,
doubt.
all clear?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now come down to option number 2. Option number 2 says what? C is greater than 7.30. And what is C given to me? 6.5x plus 8.5y, just solving of the equation. So I'll put 6 here, 6.5x plus 8.5y greater than equal to 7.30. Am I right? Yes or no? Agreed? Now, my job is to remove this y. How do I remove this y? From this information, simple, straightforward logic. So 6.5x plus 8.51 minus x greater than 7.30. Now my job is to simply solve it for x, that's all. So see here, 6.5x plus 8.5 minus 8.5x greater than 7.30. Now 6.5x minus 8.5x is what? Minus 2x greater than 7.30 minus 8.50. That is minus 2x is greater than equal to what is this? 5, 30, 20, 8 minus 7, 1. 1.20, negative 1.20. So if I multiply negative and divide by 2, what do I get? Less than 0.60. If x is less than equal to 0.60, it is definitely less than 0.80. Sufficient. B is the answer. So please ensure one simple logic. Minus x greater than negative y. So you simply don't remove this negative sign. Never ever. You multiply negative. And whenever you multiply negative, sign changes. Whenever you do reciprocal, sign changes. Imagine if x is greater than y. Minus 1 by x will be less than 1 by y. Simple logic. If you have any understanding problem in this small things, your job is to simple take some values and test it for yourself. Imagine 3 is greater than 2, right? But if I do 1 by 3, it has to be less than 1 by 2. Imagine minus 2 is greater than minus 5. If you just remove this sign, do you really think 2 is greater than 5? This is crap. So these are the small thing that should matter, because if you are clear with these things, there is nothing called tough question that exists at all. It's all crap to say, ki, Rahul, I'm solving some 800 level question, 700 level question. One questions can be very easy for me, can be tough for you. It can be very easy for you and it can be tough for me. But keep note of these small things. So when you multiply negative, sign changes, 2 becomes less than 5. So in terms of variable, I agree. A lot of people don't understand, but if at all this is a problem that is coming to you, just take some numbers and check it for yourself. It will be very clear. Any problem here? Can we do one slightly little bit thoughtful question? Question number 11. It says on a number line. So if any question says you on a number line, your entire thought process should be that you try and solve questions with the help of number line itself, nothing else at all. Anything else you bring, it will become a tough one. Remember. So can we do this? Slightly on a tougher end in terms of thought process. That's it. Please take 2 minutes.
Rahul, the previous one, the final answer was D, right? Because we could solve it by the second one, and for the first one we could take the value from.
No, first one was not sufficient, right? Because first one you got x is less than 0.85. If x
Oh,
is
so
less
there
than
was, okay, yeah,
0.85,
it could have been, yeah. Okay.
my question is x less than 0.80? That's my question.
Then the answer is B, right?
B, yeah.
Now, just a question in this one.
Yeah,
So
please
in
tell me.
second statements, keep greater than or equal to 7.3, right? So when you put this into the equation, it should be equal to, right? Why did you write greater than or equal to, or like, are we allowed to
No,
write
I
it?
have no. I have just put the equation of C. I put the value C. What is the statement number 2? C is greater than 7.30, right?
Understood. Got it. Yes, got
And
it.
I have just put the value of C over here and solved the equation. That's it.
Understood.
Okay. Perfect. Can we do question number 11, please? Take 2 minutes. Think on this. Beautiful questions to think upon. Never ever try and solve quantity of maths questions. Always remember, never ever. You're not supposed to solve in one day 20 questions, 30 questions and be very happy that I've solved Rahul 20, 30 questions of maths today. No, it's always better spend time on one. Think a lot, because end of the day, it's a simple logic, guys. On exam day, you will have 21 questions front of you and there is no one to help you. The logic remains pretty simple, that if you cannot solve unseen questions in home, how the hell you expect that you will go and solve unseen questions in the exam? This is a simple logic. So doing 30 problems of math in a day, this is crap. The point is simple. If a question that you are able to solve in maths, you can't be happy about it. You cannot come and tell me, Rahul, out of 20 questions, I have solved 16 questions right. So I'm pretty happy. No, if you have solved 16 questions right, it means you deserve to solve the 16 questions right. You technically learned math from the question that you were not able to solve. So a lot of people does that. They have solved 16 question, right? They have solved 17, 18, 19, 24 questions. They could not solve. They straight away look into the solution and they start feeling that Rahul, I'm done. But please understand the question you are trapped in math. Don't try and look into solutions. If you look into solution, that's a disaster that you are committing. It's okay now. Think on this question. If you are able to solve some question that you deserve to solve it, that is your brain capacity. But if you want to improve it, then 100% the question where you are trapped in, you'll have to put a lot of time on that rather than saying that look going and looking into the solution. That is something, and that's the only reason of giving you all the question here is that I'll discuss the entire theory in the class, but you should try and approach it in home. Let it be wrong or right, that doesn't matter at all. At this point of time, your wrong and rights are none of anyone's business, none of botheration at all. Perfect. Try doing this. So sorry, man. I speak a bit more. Take 2 minutes. Try. I want to finish DS first and come down to the problem solving, and there you see how easy the questions can be. What the answer?
D.
D. Okay. Let's see here. It says on a number line, the distance between x and y is greater than distance between x and z on a number line. Now it says that distance between x, y is greater than distance between x and z. That's fine. Does z lie between x and y on the number line? Let's take a statement number 1. It says what? X, y, z is less than 0. When can it be less than 0? Imagine I take x negative, y and z positive. It has to be less than 0. Or I take x positive, y negative, z positive. It should be less than 0. If I take x and y both positive, z negative, less than 0. If I take negative, 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 this is all less than 0. So let's take the first condition where x is negative, y is positive, and z is positive. So did I satisfy my information that is given to me? This is the information that is given to you in the question, by the way. Distance between x and y is greater than distance between x and z. So did I satisfy statement number 1? My information that distance between x and y is greater than distance between x and z. Statement number 1 is also satisfied that xyz is negative. If you multiply xyz, it will get negative. So both the statement is satisfied, information is satisfied, and what I can conclude that g lies between x and y. See here. Am I right? Yes or no? Anyone, any doubt over here? All you have to ensure that do not challenge the statement, and if at all some information is given, do not challenge the information. Ensure that everything should be satisfied. And then you go ahead and conclude whether G lies between X and Y or not. Now I have taken case 1. This is the first case that I have taken, and I have drawn the figure from you. Now I'm taking case 2 now. Check here. Is a number line. X is positive over here. I'll put X positive. I'll take Y negative. And I'll put Z positive. See here. Can I say XYZ is less than 0? Agreed. Can I say distance between X and Y is greater than distance between X and Z? My information is satisfied. But what I get here,
Yes.
G does not lie between X and Y. So I have a yes situation. I have a no situation. Can I say statement number 1 not sufficient? Anyone who didn't understand this, please tell me. Because
Rahul,
just with the help of, tell.
could you explain the no part? I think I missed that by mistake.
So I have taken this case now. Check here. X positive, Z positive, Y negative. And I have satisfied the information that distance between X and Y is greater than distance between X and Z. But in this case, I see G does not lie between X and Y. Agreed?
Yes, thank you.
Or any problem?
No, that's okay.
Rajit, is this clear?
Yes, Rahul.
Perfect. Now, if you have understood this, you can mark answer E by closing your eyes. See here. Let's look into statement number 2. Statement number 2 says what? Xy
X
is less
into
than
Y
0.
is
And what all we have done over here in the first statement, we have only played around with X and Y. I have kept G very as it is, positive. My entire game is with X and Y. So if I say XY negative, can I show exactly the same picture? Product of XY is negative here. See here, this is X is positive, Y. X is negative, Y is positive. So XY is less than 0. Here Y is negative, X is positive. So XY is less than 0. My information is also being satisfied in both the cases that distance between X and Y is greater than distance between X and Z. So I can say two situations are again created. Anyone, any problem here? Tanishika, Riddhi, any problem?
No, Rahul. No, Rahul.
Perfect. Now, even if I combine, guys, what it says, XYZ is less than 0, XY less than 0. Even if I combine, my entire game is with X and Y itself. And I have not even touched Z. Z is positive sitting over here. And Z is positive sitting over here. My entire game is with X and Y. I can straightforward mark answer E and move on. It is all, nothing needs to be done. It is all that you need to think. Am I right? Anyone, any problem here? Please tell me. Perfect. Can we do question number 14? nahi? 15 is done. Can we do question number 16? Now, again, it's a direct type of a question, but beautiful questions to solve. Please take 2 minutes for this.
Rahul, in the previous one, I didn't understand why you didn't try for option C. Like if
I
you
tried,
combine.
I tried option C, Riddhi. Check here. So, and tell me one thing, Riddhi. If I combine, even if I combine, xy is less than 0 is given to me in statement number 2. In statement number 1, it is given xyz is less than 0, right?
Yeah.
So even if I combine xy is less than 0, for sure. And if xy is less than 0, for xy less than 0, these are the two number line that I can draw and show it to you.
Yeah, yeah.
So I didn't draw any other figure. Just with these two figure, I have come down to a conclusion that answer is E.
Okay, okay, okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we do question number 16, guys? Please. Very beautiful question. It's all about how you understand this question. That's it. Answer is C. Okay. Anyone else? Understand question well. It says if x is an integer, there's a very minute information that is given to you that you have to consider x as an integer. And the question says is 3 to the power x less than 500. Now to a lot of extent, it's pretty direct question. And what I have told you in a direct question, never ever simply get into the statements or else you'll get nothing out of it. You might be spending a lot of time. So until the question understanding is not clear, you are not supposed to get into the statements for sure. So the question says is 3 to the power x less than 500. Can I just understand when is this possible? When is the condition possible?
X should be a positive number.
No. If x is 10, how is it possible? Not positive number. So imagine 3 to the power 1 is what? 3. 3 to the power 2 is what? 9. 3 to the power 3 is what? 27. 3 to the power 4 is what? 81. 3 to the power 5 is what? 243. 3 to the power 6 is what? 729. So guys, I know this, so I'm writing. Your job is to simply keep multiplying 3 over here. So when you multiply 3, 27 into 3, 81. So 81 into 3, 243. 243 into 3, 729. So don't go mad about it, ki Rahul, I need to remember all these things. You don't have to remember anything. So it says 3 to the power x is less than 5. Is 3 to the power x less than 500? Now for this to happen, x should be less than 6 or not? Because if x is less than 6, it is given to you x is an integer. So if x is less than 6, it means x can be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right?
Yeah.
So can I change my entire question is x less than 6? Because if x is less than 6, I can say 3 to the power x is less than 500 by default.
Yeah.
Anyone has any problem over here? Tanishika, any problem? Riddhi, any problem? So my question entirely changes to is x less than 6? Simple logic. I'm erasing all these things. Anyone who has any problem? Ankit, any problem?
No, Rahul, clear.
So my question now changes to is x less than 6? Right? Now statement number 1. What I need to do is that simply try and solve this statement. So statement number 1 says 4 to the power x minus 1 less than 4 to the power x negative 120. So please understand a to the power m minus n is what? A to the power m by a to the power n. And a to the power m cross n is what? A to the power m plus a to the power n. Right? Sorry, what I'm doing. A to the power m plus n is a to the power m into a to the power n. So normal exponent rule. So 4 to the power x minus 1, can I write? This has 4 to the power x by 4 to the power 1. 4 to the power 1 is nothing but 4. Anyone, any problem here? And now I'll simply try and solve this equation. That is 4 to the power x negative 120. Now if I take 4 to the power x over here, it is 1 by 4 minus 1 less than negative 120. Am I right? Now see here, 4 to the power x is nothing but negative 3 by 4 less than negative 120. Am I right? So if I cross multiply, because now this is technically nothing but minus 3 by 4 into 4 to the power x. It is exactly the same thing. So what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to cross multiply, but I'm also trying to multiply with a negative value. So sign will change. So can I say 4x, 4 to the power x is greater than 120 cross 4 by 3? Anyone, any problem here? Tell me.
So can you repeat?
There's some sound coming. For which?
Sir, this one from starting, can you repeat?
Yes, Simran. So what did I do here, Simran? Is that 4 to the power x minus 1? Can I write 4x by 4 to the power 1? Because a to the power m minus n is nothing, Simran. A to the power m by a to the power n. It's exponent rule. Agreed?
Huh.
And that is less than 4x negative 120. Now what I have done is that I have brought 4x on the left hand side. From here what I have done, I have just done 4x by 4 minus 4x less than negative 120. And then I have taken 4x common. After this step, Shimran, is this step clear? The red one?
Yes.
So after this step, I have directly come at this place. I've taken 4x common, 1 by 4 minus 1, that is negative 3 by 4. And then I've simply cross multiplied it. Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. Now, when you multiply
Now,
this,
generally, we don't cross multiply in inequality, right?
numbers you can always multiply.
Okay, if it's just an x and y where we don't know the value of those, that is when we don't cross multiply, yeah?
You never cross multiply the variable. Simple logic, simple logic, Sajid. Until you are 100% sure it is explicitly mentioned to you in the question that that particular variable is positive, you won't cross multiply that at all. But you can always cross multiply numbers. Numbers, you can play around with the numbers because numbers is very sure that you are multiplying negative number to a negative number or a positive to positive. So that should never be a challenge at all.
Understood.
Agreed? So now what I get from here? 3 4s 40s are, so that is 4 to the power x greater than 160. Simple logic. All I'm trying to ask you, when is this condition possible? 4 to the power x greater than 160 means 4 to the power 1, 4, 4 to the power 2, 16, 4 to the power 3, 64, and 4 to the power 4 is 256. So 4 to the power x greater than 160 is, this is only possible when x is greater than 3. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So it means, guys, this entire statement was some stupid information given to you. This means nothing but x is greater than 3. This statement is only possible when x is greater than 3. So instead of writing x greater than 3, they have asked you to solve some expressions. That's it. Now imagine how easy the question can be. Is x less than 6? Statement number 1 says you x is greater than 3. What we have done all these things is nothing but just to conclude that when is this condition possible? This is only possible when 4x is greater than 160. Technically, it means x should be greater than 3. Anyone, any problem? Sajid, any problem? Mrinal, any problem? Please tell. Prerna, clear? Tanishika, any problem here? Sri, it's clear?
Yes, Rahul.
Perfect. So this is all crap thing. You just have to, you can ensure that you erase all these things. Everything. What we did was absolute stupidity. We have just, this was not, we are trying to solve a question. This is all crap. Entire thing, my entire job was from statement number 1 is to get this term. Is x greater than 3? Now statement, imagine your statement number 1 says what? Is x less than, what is your question? Is x less than 6? Statement number 1 says what? X is greater than 3. X can be 4, x can be 10. Straight away not sufficient. Anyone, any doubt? Please tell. So option number 1 is not sufficient. We solved this entire statement number 1 to get a value that this can only, statement number can only satisfy when x is greater than 3. And my question is x less than 6? Absolutely not sufficient. The statement number 2 says what? X can be plus 6 or minus 6. A straightforward logic. So my question is x less than 6? When it is plus 6, it is not less than 6. When it is minus 6, it is less than 6. Yes, no such situation. I can say this is not sufficient. A straightforward logic. Now, when I combine these two statements, statement number 1 says x is greater than 3. Statement number 2 says x is equal to plus 6 or minus 6. When I combine these two statements, what do I get? X is equal to 6. Now, if I get x is equal to 6, what is my question? Is x less than 6? I can say confirm no answer. So the answer is C. So if you understand it, it's a pretty simple questions to approach. But yes, there is some thought process required. There's some sort of a solving required, which we should be doing it. Why not? Anyone, any problem in this question, please tell me.
Just a question, Rahul. So
Yeah,
in order to get x greater than 3, we'll anyways still have to solve that entire equation, then get x equal to
absolutely,
3, and
absolutely,
then not
100%.
worry about what has been done, and
Yes,
use
yes,
x
absolutely.
equals 3 and x greater than 3, and the
Because
second.
always remember one thing's reason that you are solving an equality equation. So you will never get a value of x. When
Correct,
you
correct.
say x is equal to 3 or x is equal to 6, this is called value of x.
Mhm.
But when you say x is greater than 6, this is called range of x. This is not the value of x. Range of x means x could be any number after 7, 8, 9, 10 to infinity. So when you are
Correct.
solving an inequality equation, technically you will never get a value of x for sure. What you would get is a range of x. So what I have got here is, when I solve this statement, I have got that x should be greater than 3. And x should be greater than 3 means what? That if you take any value, and you put of x greater than 3 and you put it into this equation will 100% satisfy. So if for
Oh.
let's say x is equal to 4. So if I do 4 to the power 4 minus 1, that is 4 to the power 3, that is 64. That 100% has to be less than 4 to the power x minus 120. It's a simple, straightforward logic.
Understood. So this is going to be a straightforward no, correct?
Confirm no answer, because when I combine these two equations, I've got x is equal to 6. When I combine this equation, these two statements reason, I have got x is equal to 6. My question was, is x less than 6? So I can say a confirm no answer for sure. Amit, there is a sound coming from your end. Can you please once mute it
No,
yourself?
no, Rahul, I was about to ask. I didn't get in the last part. Means x can be -6 also, no?
No, but I'm combining now. Statement number 1 says what? You can only consider the value of x that is greater than 3. So -6 will be discarded.
Okay.
One small question. So if we're getting a confirmed no answer,
That's
isn't that supposed to be sufficient then?
so it's a sufficient no. Confirm no answer. That's the reason I've written C. Sufficient. Yeah, it is sufficient.
Give me 1 second. 1 second.
That's the reason I wrote the answer C, right?
Yeah, I got the answer C and I'm confused myself. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, please take it.
Okay,
There
so
is the same problem. If option 2 is also one is +6 is not sufficient and -6 is yes, then it is
No, but
not
if
sufficient.
the logic is pretty simple, what is your question? Is x less than 6? From statement number 2, you have got x is equal to C here. Don't absolutely go confused at all. 1 second, let me delete all this stuff.
see, ideally,
1 second,
we
1 second,
get
wait.
option C
Please,
only
please,
when
please wait. 1 sec. So your question is what? Is x less than 6? Question is clear. Now statement number 2 says what? X can be +6 or -6. When x is +6, do you think 6 is less than 6? No. When x is -6, do you think -6 is less than 6? Yes. So I have a yes no situation, and that's the reason I did statement number 2 not sufficient. A straightforward logic. Am I right? Anyone, any problem here now? Please tell me. In option number 2.
Part 2 is fine. Part 1, if we're getting a confirmed no answer.
How are you getting part 1 confirm no answer? Part 1 you are getting x is greater than 3.
Part
This
1
can
x
be
is greater than 3, correct. So that basically means could be 4, could be 10.
So no, it's not sufficient. What is the question's reason?
Oh, okay.
Question is x less than 6? If you get x greater than 3, it is not sufficient. When you combine these two statements, statement number 1 says x is greater than 3. Statement number 2 says x is equal to +6 or -6. When you combine this statement, you get x is equal to 6. And what is my question? Is x less than 6? So it's a confirmed no answer, because there is no other variable, there is no other numbers at all here. So I mark answer C over here. Anyone, any problem? Please tell. Please clear your confusion, guys. Do not keep it anything within. Amit, is this clear now? Ankit, any problem here?
Yes, all clear now.
Perfect. Prerna, any problem? Riddhi? Rohan, any problem?
Rahul, this is clear, Rahul, but if you can go to that number line question once again, just
Number line. Okay.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, tell me, Prayas.
Yeah, Rahul. Yes. So in this, okay, the distance between x, y is greater than x. Okay. Okay,
You have to
fine. I
follow the
know.
information, you have to follow
Mm,
the statements. That's it. And
mm,
based on that, again, you see that whether z lies between x and y or z lies outside of x and y. Because when I took a statement number 1, when I've taken the first case, when I've taken the
mhm,
first case, Prahas, check here.
mhm.
Can I say x? One sec. Which color
Okay, I
should
was thinking that if z is ahead of y, then it
Can I
will not
say
satisfy the
x,
equation.
y, and z less than 0? Because x is negative, y and g is positive, right?
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
Can I say distance between x and y is greater than distance between x and z? And in this
Yes,
case, I
yes.
have plotted z lies between x and y. Exactly the
Mhm.
same thing. In statement, in case 2, what I have taken. First look, can I say x, y, z is less than 0? Statement number 1 suffice.
Yes.
And can I say distance between x and y is greater than distance between x and z? My information suffice.
Yes.
But here I see that G does not lie between X and Y. That's the reason I've created a yes and no situation. And this goes for statement number 2 also. This goes for combination also.
Okay. Yes. Clear.
Anyone, any doubt, guys? Please tell.
Yes, I got a doubt. I got that statement 1 is not sufficient and statement 2 is not sufficient. But
Which one?
how it
In
is
which question?
16.
In question number 16, Jadip. One sec.
Yes.
So in question number 16, tell me one thing, Jadip. Statement number 1 says, let's do independently. Statement number 1, I'm saying you x is greater than 3. Statement number
Yes.
2, I'm saying you x is equal to plus 6 or
Well,
negative 6. So if you
yes,
combine this statement, what is the value will you get, Jadip?
is greater than 3 plus 6.
X is equal to plus 6, right?
Yes.
This is one single value that you get, right?
Yes.
And what is your question, Jadip?
If x is less than 6.
So if you have got x
Okay.
is equal to plus 6, then it's a confirm no answer because you have after combination, you have
yes,
just
yes,
got
yes.
one value. That's it.
Okay, fine. Now, okay, fine.
So this confirm yes, confirm no has to be understood. It's there is nothing to understand at all. It's simple. Jadip, is your name Rahul? You have answered no to it, and that's the right answer according to you.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Correct. Anyone, any problem till now? Please tell. Perfect. Can we do one more easy question? I wanted to do this question at the time when I was teaching you even powers cannot be predicted. But I thought that moment it would have become a very tough for you. Can you please take 2 minutes for this question number 14? Simple question. If you remember, even powers cannot be predicted. You can answer within a second for sure. But just give me a yes no situation, all those stuff. So it says what? If x is x greater than y? No information given to us. Pretty direct question. No idea about what is x and what is y, whether they are integer, they are not integer. We don't know anything about it. Option number 1. I've told you right in the first class, even powers cannot be predicted. You can say not sufficient, but I can take some numbers and show you also. Nothing to worry about. See here, x square greater than y. Can I take x is equal to, let's say 5, y is equal to 4. 5 square is greater than 4 and 5 is
Yes.
greater than 4. Imagine I take x is equal to 3, y is equal to 4. Can I say 3 square is greater than 4? But 3 is technically less than 4. What I'm trying to say? Let's see here. X square is greater than y. But in this case, x is greater than y. Check here. X square is greater than y. But in this case, x is less than y. So my question is what? Is x greater than y? You are given straight away even power x square is greater than y. I have told you right in the first class when I was telling that even powers can never ever be predicted in the last Saturday's class. So that's exactly the same thing. Just by saying that, just by knowing that x square is greater than y, we cannot predict whether x will be greater than y or x will be less than y. We can't predict this for sure. Am I right?
Rahul, why
Thus,
have you not taken a negative number maybe again just to solve it? Like one
no,
more iteration.
no, you can 100% take that. The whole point is if you get x greater than y, x less than y, you are done. So I usually don't prefer to go ahead with the negative number, Mrinal, if my job can be done with the positive numbers. If my job is not being done with the positive number, then I go to negative number. If my job is not being done with the positive and negative number only, then I go to fraction. The point is, when you can get your work done by making someone a friend, why should you do enmity with them? And negative number fractions can absolutely mind boggle you in the exam. So if you can do it by simple taking some positive number and you can show it, it's more than enough, right? That's what I follow. Technically, when I take numbers, I follow exactly these logics. If it is not happening by negative positive number, then I do go ahead and analyze my statement. What exactly, how is the statement behaving with numbers? And only then after giving a certain thought process, only I'll go to negative number, Mrinal. I'll never directly randomly go to negative number. Or let's say for that second fraction. Sometime you have to do it. You don't, there is no other options. And option number 2 is exactly the same thing, guys. If you square both the side, what happens? That x is less than y square. That is nothing but y square is greater than x. So just by saying that y square is greater than x, I can't confirm y could be greater than x or y could be less than x. So x is greater than y, x is less than y. I have a yes and no situation, so I say not sufficient. Now the problem comes in this question is that Rahul, how do you combine? So what I have told you, see the first statement, the statement number 1 is what? Statement number 1 is what? X square greater than y. Agreed? What is statement number 2? I have changed the statement number 2 to this, y square greater than x. Exactly the same thing. So y square is greater than x. Now I have told you, please believe on what I'm telling you. This is, you can use it at any place. It doesn't matter. So combination of two equation is what? Solving those two equations, right? So I'll solve this. I'll simply add it. So x square plus y square is greater than x plus y. Now imagine if I take x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 3. Can I say x square plus y square is greater than x plus y? Please check. 4 square plus 3 square is greater than 4 plus 3, right? And x is greater than y. Imagine if I take x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 4. Can I still say x square plus y square is greater than x plus y? But in this case, what I have? X is less than y. So I have a yes situation, I have a no situation. I'll go ahead and mark answer E. Tell me anyone, any problem. Pretty simple. It's all about how you do it.
Rahul, when you compile now, when you see the square, there itself you can conclude telling that it's not sufficient, right?
Yeah, that's 100% fine. But do those conclusions only when you are 100% done with, when you are 100% sure that you are very confident by taking numbers, you can do it. You can 100% say right at this place that even powers cannot be predicted, not sufficient. But all I'm trying to say is don't say all these things right now. Right now, you should have a very clear-cut yes and no situation on pen and paper to say some statement is not sufficient.
Understood.
I don't want you to do all these things when you in the exam. You can straight away say not sufficient, not sufficient. No issues at all. But you will be only be able to tell confidently not sufficient when you have a when you have practiced very well and practiced with a yes and no situation.
Understood.
Clear, Satish? Perfect. So come down to
Yeah. Sir,
yep. Please
Sir?
tell me. Yeah. Tell me
can
Shiv,
you read the second statement?
of the
Actually,
last
I
question.
have not understood the second statement.
One
Huh,
second.
last.
Shiv. What was the question number you remember?
14th, I guess.
Just now you are
It is simple. I just squared this. When you square this, both the sides, what do you get? Will you get
okay.
this x greater than y, x less than y square?
Yeah.
So this is nothing but this is I've reversed it. I have x less than y square. I've done y square is greater than x. That's all simple.
Okay.
And the way I've explained you that x square is greater than y, you don't know the value of x and y. Matlab x can be greater than y, x can be less than y. In the same logic, y square, if y square is greater than x, y could be greater than x, y could be less than x. That's all I've done. Clear? Any problem, Simran?
Yeah. Perfect. No.
Come, I think we are left with 3-4 questions now. Let's finish the data sufficiency. Guys, now can we do question number 6, please? Now, question number 6 is extremely related to this logic. Once, let me open a. Wait for a minute. First of all, one sec. Can you please take a minute and think on point number 15, key concept? Point number 15, please. Because question number 6 is nothing but the same concept in terms of a question given to you. That's all.
Well, I think the statement is pretty self-explanatory, isn't it?
Yeah. So see here, what they are trying to do here in question number 15, in point number key concept 15, they are just simply trying to explain you. If you understand this, the question that I have given, question number 6, is a 2-second job. So point number 15, what they are trying to say? They are trying to say if x is positive and a plus x by, so let's say a by b, let's say there's a fraction a by b, that is nothing but 3 by 4. Agreed? Now they are telling you that take some x as a positive entity. Let's say x is equal to 5. So there's a fraction given to you that a by b is equal to 3 by 4. X is equal to 5, or everything should be positive. Remember, it is not valid for the negative numbers at all. Everything should be very positive. So a by b is 3 by 4. And I'm taking an element x is equal to 5. And I'm adding in both numerator and denominator. That is 3 plus 5 by 4 plus 5. What do I get? 8 by 9. So this resultant value would be greater than the actual fraction. What was actual fraction? 3 by 4. Am I right? So that's what they are trying to say. If x is positive, a plus x, that is 3 plus 5 by 4 plus 5 is greater than a by b. A by b is 3 by 4. Now imagine if I take a by b as 4 by 3, where a is greater than b. And let me take x is equal to 5. And if I add 5 in numerator and denominator both, that is 4 plus 5 by 3 plus 5, that is nothing but 9 by 8. Now the resultant value would be less than the actual value, that was 4 by 3. That's it. So they are trying to say you, if x is positive, a plus x over b plus x is greater than a by b. A by b is actual fraction if a is less than b. And second, they are trying to say you, if x is positive, a by b is a fraction, that is 4 by 3. If you add x into both, that plus 5 plus 5. So whatever the resultant value that you get, 9 by 8, that will be less than the actual fraction, that is a by b. That's what is the logic over here. So this is no logic, this is straight away calculation, but just to have a good understanding, I put it over here. Now the question remains the same here. Now see here, is m plus x over n plus x greater than m by n? When is this possible? Only when m is less than n and x is positive. So answer is C. 1 second. But please tell me if you have not followed it. I'll explain you in detail. Someone who didn't follow, it is exactly the replica of point number 15 key concept. Anyone who feel that C is not the answer or who has a problem in understanding, please tell me. It's a very straightforward. Jadip, any problem here? So, hello, Jadip, can you hear me?
Please repeat it one time. Please repeat. I
Can you
couldn't catch
repeat it once?
So let's say A by B is equal to 3 by 4. What you see here, A is less than B or greater than B? A is less than B, right? Now, what I'm trying to say you, if you add any value, any positive value, let's say I'm adding x is equal to 5 in both numerator and denominator. That is 3 plus 5 by 4 plus 5. What is the value I'm getting? 8 by 9. They are trying to say that this 8 by 9 is greater than the actual fraction, that is 3 by 4. But imagine if you have taken a value of A by B as 4 by 3. Now, can I say A is greater than B? Now, if I add element x is equal to 5 in both the elements, that is 4 plus 5 over 3 plus 5, that is nothing but 9 by 8. So the value that you are getting here, 9 by 8, the resultant value is going to be less than the actual value, that is 4 by 3. That's all. Any problem here? So in this case, they are trying to say you that m is, they have given you, m is positive. One sec. They have given you m is positive and n is positive. And the question asking is m plus x over n plus x greater than m by n. When is this possible? Only when first m has to be less than m and x should be a positive entity. So option number 1 says m less than n. I don't know the value of x from statement number 1, so not sufficient. Option number 2 says x is greater than 0. I don't know the relation between m and n, whether m is greater than n or m is less than n. So statement number 2 is not sufficient, but when I combine, this makes sense. This is nothing as to what I have done here. Simple C here. A is less than B. I have taken this number. I've taken some number x is equal to 5 and I've added in both numerator and denominator. The resultant value that I get is 8 by 9. So this resultant value has to be greater than the actual value, that is 3 by 4, according to this term. Understood, Jadip?
It's okay now.
Just one thing, Rahul, like
Yeah.
for this concept to be valid, m and n should both be positive.
Everything
can
should be
be-
positive, trust. Everything. No, they cannot be negative at all. If it is negative, then again, we'll have to simply calculate and check. So we
Check.
can't generalize it again. Obviously, even if
Mhm.
it is negative, we can 100% add x and check what exactly is the value that we are going to get. But we will not be able to generalize it. You can only generalize when you are 100% sure that m, n, x, everything is positive. Just based on the relation between m and n, you will be able to easily generalize it.
Okay.
Clear? Anyone, any problem? Please tell. Perfect. Satish, is this clear? Shimran, any problem here? Can we do question number 4?
No.
Question, please. Should not take more than a minute, technically. Try. I'll get water and come, guys. Yes. Answers, please. Very straightforward question. Is m plus z greater than 0? Now, to understand it is greater than 0, I can have just one thought process that I'll be able to prove this question if I prove m greater than 0 and z greater than 0, or I can prove m is less than 0 and z is less than 0. In this case, you get a confirm yes answer. In this case, you get a confirm no answer. Simple logic, right? So if I prove m and z both are positive or both of them are negative, we are done. This is a simple logic that I'll go ahead with. Now, option number 1 says m is greater than 3z, right? But just by knowing m is greater than 3z, can you actually prove m plus z is greater than 0? Is it possible? Imagine I take m as 100 and z as 3 into 20. Can I say 100 is greater than 60? Let's
Yes.
check here. 100 plus 20 is greater than 0. But imagine if I take m as negative 10. Can I say it is greater than 3 into negative 20? Because minus 10 is greater than minus 60 for sure. But in this case, you check minus 10 minus 20 is less than 0. So I have a yes situation m plus z greater than 0. I have a no situation m plus z less than 0. Can I say this statement is not sufficient? Please tell me if anyone who didn't follow this. Anyone who didn't follow this? And the same logic goes for option number 2. 4z minus m is greater than 0. That means nothing but 4g is greater than m. Simple, straightforward logic, right? Now, if 4g is greater than m, can I straight away again take some normal number to satisfy my demand of yes and no situation? To 4 into 10 or 4 into 100 is greater than 10. I can say 100 plus 10 is greater than 0. Or I can say 4 into negative 10 is greater than negative 50. I can say minus 10 minus 50 is less than 0. I have a yes and no situation, so this is not sufficient. It's straightforward logic. Now, point is what? Combination. And now I think I've enough told you from last so many questions that combination of two equations is nothing but solving those two equations. So I don't think so it should take a bit of time for you to combine it. So it says m minus 3z is greater than 0. 4z minus m is greater than 0. Combination of two equations is what? Solving those two equations. And when you try and solve those two equations, what does it mean? That you can
That is
reduce the complexity a bit. You should just add it. You will get z greater than 0. And if z is greater than 0, option number 1 says what? M is greater than 3z. If z is greater than 0, m is also greater than 0. So C. Anyone, any problem, please tell. Sajid, clear?
Can you please repeat again this last one?
I did nothing. I've just combined Sajid. See? So when you add these two equations, what do you get? MM cancels off 4z minus z is greater than 0. Now, when I added both the statements, I'm trying to combine. I'm trying to combine two equations. And the combination of two equations is nothing but solving those two equations. Simple, straightforward logic. Now I've got z is greater than 0. Now if z is greater than 0, simple, straightforward logic. Option number 1 says what? M is greater than 3z. So if z is positive and m is greater than 3z, m has to be greater than 0. So I've proved z is greater than 0, m is greater than 0, m plus z will surely be greater than 0. So I've said answer is C. Is this clear? Ankit? Jadip?
Yes, Rahul, clear.
Perfect. Just one more question and we'll take a 5 minutes break and then we can start with the problem solving. I think this is the last questions of data sufficiency. Question number 3, please try. Take 2 minutes for this. After this, I'll give you a break of 5 to 10 minutes. I'll just come.
Rahul, even question number 7. I don't think you did that.
What's the answer? A. Perfect. So how do you approach this question? Are you taking numbers or are you doing something else? Because I've told you the more number of variables are involved in the question, the complex the question get. And here it says is PR less than QS. There are 4 variables. But the beauty of this is that please understand there's a relation given between these 2 variables. All the 4 variables, there's some relation given to you. They have given you P is less than Q is less than R is less than S. My first job always is that if I can simplify the question with my thought process, I always go for that. Because still the question is not clear, getting into the statement is an absolutely waste of time. Sometime you do some random stuff, you might get the answer, but that's something which is not recommended at all. So the question says PR less than QS. I've told you right in the first class, the more numbers of variables involved in the question, the more complex the question can get. Simple, straightforward logic. But in this question, there are 4 variables. But the beauty about it is that there is a relation given about all the 4 variables. That PQRS is a consecutive integer, P is less than Q is less than R is less than S. This is the information that is given to you. Now for that sake, when I come to question number 1, check, this was the question, is x4 plus y4 greater than z4? Now there are 3 variable x, y, z. But there were no information given at all. And that's the reason this question can be classified as one of the toughest question. One of the very tough question. But here in this case, you see in question number 3, what is happening? There's a beautiful relation given to you that PQRS are a consecutive integers, right? So can I say Q is equal to nothing but P plus 1? Anyone, any doubt? Because they are consecutive number. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 is nothing but 2 plus 1. Can I say R is nothing but P plus 2? And can I say S is nothing but P plus 3? Anyone, any doubt, please tell me. Can I say this? So before I get into the statement, for my own satisfaction, I need to make question easier for myself. Now question says, is PR less than QS? Now point is, there is a PR, there is a QS, there are 4 variables. I would never touch this question with 4 variables at all. So what I do is now is that I try and simplify a question. Is P into R is what? P plus 2. I'll convert every question into form of P. Less than QS. What is Q? That is P plus 1. Into S is what? P plus 3. So that is nothing but P square plus 2P less than. I'm just multiplying P square plus 3P plus P plus 3. P square cancels out. Rajit, it cancels out because if you take it on the left hand side, it will be P square minus P square. Agreed?
Yes, Rahul, yes.
I'm not doing this x square less than greater than x, and I'm not cancelling x and x. Absolutely no. I'm doing nothing. I'm just doing that. If this side, this is also x square and this is also x square, then I can do x square minus x square greater than 0, and this is gone. So I'm doing that. So P square cancels. This is what 4P. 4P comes this side, it becomes minus 2P less than 3. My question becomes, is P greater than negative 3 by 2 because I have multiplied negative. Is this clear? Anyone, any doubt in the question? Satish, Simran, any problem here?
Rahul, can you explain this last multiply wala, step? How does that happen?
So go step by step, no? Let's take, don't do anything with minus, let it be. But can I say this?
Yes.
Enough?
Yeah.
Now you multiply negative. When you multiply negative, it will be P greater than negative 3 by 2.
Okay.
Clear? Because numbers you can always cross multiply. Be very sure. The cross multiplication cannot be done with the variable till you are 100% sure that variable is positive. So my question is P greater than negative 3 by 2? Now I'll forget this question. My question is P greater than negative 3 by 2? Am I very sure? Anyone, any doubt? No. So now your job becomes very repetitive. You don't have to think anything at all. Now your first statement is what? PQ is less than RS. So I'll straight away put the values in terms of P and see that whether I'm getting P greater than negative 3 by 2 or not. If I'm getting, the statement is sufficient. If I'm not getting, a statement is not sufficient. So P into Q is what? P plus 1 less than RS. That is P plus 2 into P plus 3. That is P square plus P less than P square plus 3P plus 2P plus 6. So P square cancels out. This is what? 5P. 5P comes this side, it becomes minus 4P less than 6. That is P is greater than negative 6 by 4. That is 2 3s are 6, 2 2s are 4. P is greater than negative 3 by 2. This is what we are looking for. Is P greater than negative 3 by 2? When I solve statement number 1, I've got P is greater than negative 3 by 2. So I can say this is sufficient. Straightforward logic. And in the same way, I can solve statement number 2, that PS is less than QR. So put P here. What is this? P plus 3. Q is P plus 1 into R P plus 2. Let us see whether we get from here or not. Simple, straightforward logic. So P square plus 3P less than P square plus 2P plus P plus 2. P square cancels out. 2P plus P is what? 3P. So 3P cancels out. You get 2 greater than 0. You are not getting P greater than negative 3 by 2. So it is not sufficient. So A is the right answer. Anyone has any doubt, please tell. I have done nothing. I have simply solved this statement by replacing the SQR with P. Because I could do that, there was a relation given to me in the information that P is less than Q is less than R is less than S. Srisha, clear? Tanishika, any problem here? Perfect. Now we have done with so many questions of data sufficiency. I'll give you 5 minutes break. Let's start some problem solving now. And you see how easy things can be. It is all about how you think. It has got nothing to do with tough and all at all. The toughest of toughest problem solving questions, if your thought process is clear, it can be solved in 20 seconds, I'm telling you. So we can take a break of 5 to 6 minutes. So it's 12:09 here. We'll meet at 12:15. Don't. I'm just leaving it as it is. You can go have your break, have your water and all. Come. We'll start at 12:15. Okay. Chalo.
Rahul, I have one doubt. Can I ask that right now? The question that we did before this on the m plus z greater than 0. Just a second. Yeah. So, so with that, I understood the logic. I think I made a mistake while solving the question, but I got the right answer somehow. So the two equations, sorry, so the values that I took were, let's say m is equal to 10 and z is equal to 3. So I would get a yes situation for the
you are taking what? M is equal to
10 and z3.
No, you will 100% get M.
So for the first one, I get a yes because obviously 1 is greater than 0 and m plus z is also greater than 0. So that's fine. For the next one, I ended up taking 1 and 2.
Which you took? What you took 1?
M was 1, 2 was z.
Do you really think you can take? Statement number 1 says what? That you have to take M greater than 3Z. Understood?
No.
You have to follow the statements. So statement number 1 says here that you have to take M greater than 3Z. So if you take Z is equal to 1 and M is equal to 2, do you think 2 is greater than 3? Whatever value you take, Srijan, should 100% satisfy the statement. It doesn't mean that if M is positive, Z is positive, you start taking anything. No.
M has to be greater than 3Z is what I should keep in mind, right?
Always. Not for this question. For any questions when you take values, you have to follow the statements, Srijan. You can't take values by yourself.
And Rahul, like when you were combining these two equations, m is greater than 3z and z is greater than 0, so m is greater than 0. And if we take the second condition as well, 4z is greater than 0.
So always remember one thing. I knew that this question will come for sure. It comes every time. X plus y is equal to 10. X minus y is equal to 20. When you solve this, you get 2x is equal to what? 30x is equal to 15. Now you put it into 1 or you put it into 2. It doesn't matter at all. You get exactly the same value. Right? 100% right?
Yes,
Here
yes.
you will tell me that Rahul 4G is less than M. You are trying to put it into second statement, right? So, but the point is to ensure that the values that you take, I've done it very simple, that Z is greater than 0, so M is also greater than 0, because option number 1 says me M is greater than 3Z. Now you can tell me, Rahul, Z is greater than 0, but statement number 2 says that 4Z is greater than M, that is M is less than 4Z, right?
Yes.
ensure that if in this case, if you start taking negative values, these two statements will not suffice. Its logic is pretty simple. We could easily say, I could easily say m is greater than 0, z is greater than 0, so m plus z is greater than 0. But if you get into all these statements that 4z, m is less than 4z, then you have to ensure one thing very surely you have to do it, that you have to take such values, you have to take such values plus where statement number 1 also suffice, statement number 2 also suffice. It will only suffice when they are positive, or else it won't suffice. That's the way to look upon it.
Rahul, could I request, is it possible if you could just, so I'm just trying to solve this while talking to you, but could you probably solve this part again, please?
Which part?
Basically proving equation 1 and equation 2 is not sufficient. Could you do that once, please?
M is greater than 3z, so 100 is greater than 3 into 10. And minus 10 is also greater than 3 into negative 20. Minus 20. So m plus z is greater than 0, m plus z is less than 0, and m is greater than 3. Right? It is not sufficient.
One second. So you've got m greater than 3z. You've taken m as 100 and you've taken z as 10.
Yeah.
So m plus z greater than 0, that makes sense. Oh, okay. Yeah, for the second part, I think we had to take a negative value in order to prove that it was not
You
sufficient,
just
right?
have to create a no situation. So take the value that you wish to.
That no situation, so it's so m greater than 3z, that stays as is, but the question that's been given, that's m plus z greater than 0, that has to be proved as no, which is what you've done.
Right. Always
Okay.
prove yes or no situation, you always create with the question only, in any question. Yes, no situation is created with respect to question. The statement and a statement should be followed. That's it. You create a yes and no situation with question always, but following what? Following this statement. I have followed this statement. M is greater than 3 in both the cases. But in one case, m plus z is greater than 0, one case, 1 m plus z is less than 0.
Right.
Any other question?
No, I think I'm good now. I'm just going to solve the second part as well, and I think I'm
Rahul,
Please.
you're there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if like in this question m is greater than 3z and z is greater than 0, so this is sufficient to say that m is also greater than 0, so m plus z is greater than 0.
Absolutely.
And when I take that 4z is greater than m and z is greater than 0, so
See, simple. Don't get confused, bros. Take some number, whatever number you take. Okay. Whatever number you take, for that number, statement number 1 should also be sufficient. The statement number 2 also be sufficient. You will always seek m plus z greater than 0. Simple logic, nothing to be confused at all. I have done it in a simple way that I have proved z is greater than 0. Statement number 1, I have closed my eyes. Statement number 1 says m is greater than 3z. So if z is greater than 0, m is also greater than 0. I didn't take any of that. I just proved m plus z greater than 0. In terms of when you are taking values and you are getting confused, first of all, put the values in both the statement and see both the statements are satisfying or not. Because it's an equality equation. That's it. So if your values are satisfying both the statement and then see those values m plus z is greater than 0 or not, 100% it will be.
Okay.
Understood? Perfect. So guys, should we start problem solving? Pretty simple
Rahul,
one.
do
Yeah.
the sum in data sufficiency before you.
Okay, I'm so sorry, man. Please try 7th number and then we'll go to problem solving. Take 2 minutes for question number 7. For question number 7, 2 minutes, please. I think this was the remaining. This question is just a tongue twister, nothing else at all. It says the number x and y are not integers. They say x and y are not integers. The value of x is closest to which integer? That's the question. Value of x is close to which integer? So please understand in GMAT, not in GMAT, in any competitive exam, 1.5 always rounds to 2 and 1.4 will round to 1. So 1.5, 1.6, these all things will round to 2. This is a normal logic that you should know for this question. So it says that 4 is an integer that is close to x plus y. What do you mean by this statement? 4 is an integer that is close to x plus y. Can I say 4 like x plus y lies between 3.5 and 4.5? Yes or no? Because it says 4 is an integer that is close to x plus y. So imagine x plus y, it can be 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, 3.8, 3.9. All these values are close to integer 4. Or let's say 4.4, 4.3, 4.2, 4.1. All these values are close to 4. So I can aram se say that 4 is the integer that is close to x plus y. It means x plus y lies between 3.5 and 4.5. Anyone, any problem over here? Kanishika, any problem? Prerna, all clear? Now it says, but what is my question? Value of x is close to which integer? Do you get the value of x from a statement number 1? No. So statement number 1 is not sufficient. This is just tongue twister question, nothing else at all. Now statement number 2 says what? 1 is the integer that is close to x minus y. So x minus y, can x minus y lie between 0.5 and 1.5? Yeah. Because 1 is the integer that is close to x minus y. So imagine this is minus 0.4, 0.5, 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, 0.1. Sorry, what I'm doing? 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. All these numbers are close to 1. Or you can say 1.4, 1.3, 1.2, 1.1. All these numbers are, all these values are close to 1. So statement number 1, I can say ki x minus y lies between 0.5 and 1.5, but do you think it is sufficient? Because what is the question asking? The value of x is close to which integer? I don't have the value of x from statement number 2. So I can straight away say this is not sufficient. Am I right? Now, my job is to what? To combine. Now, these are the two equations, an equality equation in front of you. So please combine. So I'll add this. When I add this, I get here 4. I get here 2x. I get here 6. So when I divide the entire expression by 2, what do I get? X less than 2 less than 3, right? So can I say x can be, am I sure? Is this right or not? So can I say value of x can be 2.1? It is close to which integer? 2. Can I say value of x can be 2.9? This is close to which integer? 3. So you are getting two different values, so it is not sufficient. E is the answer. Anyone, any doubt here? Please tell. Renal, is this clear? Amit, Ankit, any problem? Jadip? Any problem here? Rajit? Please tell. All clear? Perfect. Now let's come down to problem solving. Now you see how easy the questions can get. So guys, in inequality, it happens that I make you solve some different problem, not in a series, because this is an important chapter. I want you to be good at it, so that from any angle you see your question, you should be in a position to understand. But now I'll go series wise. Can we try question number 1, please? Take 2 minutes.
Rahul, in that previous question, if you just like solve x plus y is equal to 4 and x minus y is equal to 1 and you get x equal to 2.5, you can round that off to 3, right?
No, but why would you solve x plus y is equal to 4? It
Because
doesn't say that, no? What is the question trying to say here? Check here. What was the question number?
7.
So what did you do? X plus y is equal to 4. How can you say? It says 4 is the integer that is close to x plus y. So you don't know what is x plus y. So I can say it is trying to say the range. This statement is trying to say you this is thing. That x plus y is 4. And all the values that are close to 4 are from 3.5 to 4.5. Greater than equal to 3.5 and less than 4.5, right? So you'll have to consider all the values, Riddhi. Because they say ki x plus y are not integers. This is given to you in the question itself. That x plus y are not integers. So when they are not integer, how can x plus y can be equal to 4?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Agreed? Riddhi, any problem?
No, I got it.
Perfect. Understood? Please tell me. If there is any problem, you have to clear it.
Yeah, I got it, Rahul.
Good. Anyone, any problem in data sufficiency? Because guys, be one thing very sure about that you doing some unseen questions will only make sense when this entire handout is very crystal clear to you. This is the handout that we are discussing now. Each and every question should be 100% clear to you. Now, for that clarity, you do it one time, you do it two time, you do it three time, you do it full time. It does not matter. So once today we are done with the class, your job is to go ahead, start with question number one, and you give as much time as you can now because we have discussed everything in the class. So your job is not to go and see the video time and again. Video is just for a reference purpose. Sometime when you miss the class, you see the video, but once you are done, ensure that you will go with question number one, attempt all the questions by yourself, ensure that you get a right answer, and only then doing unseen questions will make sense. In the end of the class, I'll tell you how exactly can you get questions from, where you can get questions from. I'll also give you a question. But before that, can we start now problem solving? Question number one, please tell up your answer.
Rahul, E.
Great. Okay. Because it says what? If x plus y is greater than 0, which of the following cannot be true? So xy greater than 0 means what? Both are positive or both are negative? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
Rahul.
Rahul.
So do you think this is ever possible? Can you say xy can ever be less than 0? Either you take both positive. In a fraction, if you take both same signs, the fraction will always be greater than 0. So straightforward answer E. Anyone, any doubt? Please tell. I'm telling you, these are like however complicated the problem of the questions from problem solving can be. You just keep your mind open and always think in terms of sign. That's something which is really, really important. Can we do question number 2, please? Please take your time. You are not supposed to rush it up at all. Take your time easily. Don't rush it up and then see. Because in these questions, if you do mistakes in the exam, remember for one question, they'll deduct your almost 30 to 40 points. And I'm being very serious about it. If you do easy questions wrong in GMAT exam, you are screwed up royally. There is no doubt about it. When you do tough questions wrong, they don't penalize you at all. But if you do easy questions wrong, it will be a problem. Please take your time. No rush.
Is it A?
Okay. Others, please think. It's all about your thought process. And these are the questions where you don't have to touch pen and paper. Even if you are touching it just for a namesake, that's it. Tell me, when you say x4 into y less than 0, do you think even power can ever be negative? Tell me this. Understand it well. You're not supposed to solve all these things. Do you think x to the power 4 can ever be negative? Let the value of x be positive, negative. How the hell it matters to me? It doesn't matter to me at all what is the value of x. But x4 as a value, do you think it can ever be negative? Anyone?
No.
No, no.
Absolutely no. So can I 100% conclude that y is negative from here?
Yes.
Yes.
When y is negative, this is gone. Y can never be positive,
Yes.
right? You can eliminate option number E, 100%.
Hmm.
Am I right?
Right, sir.
Now, when you see here x to the power y4, x y4 greater than 0, what do you mean by this?
X has to be positive.
Positive. Yeah.
Because if y4 is positive, y4 is always positive. The value of y4 is always positive. So x is always positive, right?
Hmm.
So can I eliminate option number D?
D is gone.
Yes.
Now, when you are 100% sure that x is positive, y is negative, can I eliminate option number B? Because the negative value can never be greater than a positive value.
Yeah. And they cannot be equal.
And they can never be equal. Looking at the equation, you can 100% justify for yourself. So A is a straightforward answer. You don't have to test again why A is the right answer. If you have the reasoning to eliminate 4 options wrong, move it. Hey, what is there to test? If x is positive, y is negative, x is greater than y. Simple logic. Am I right? Any problem here? Tanishika? Riddhi? If you have done inequality, this data sufficiency well, because in data, why? So it's simple logic, guys. There is a reason that I start with data sufficiency because your thought process should improve. You should start thinking in all the direction. If I simply make you start solving, if I start class with these questions, you might find it very easy, but that's not something that needs to be done. Can we do question number 3, please? Take your time. Don't rush it up at all. So see, they have given you a simple hint, range of x and y. Range of x and y means highest value minus lowest value. And you are multiplying two numbers. So you simply don't multiply this and this. Find the highest multiplication, lowest multiplication. That's the answer. Simple logic.
A.
A. Perfect.
A.
Because minus 8 into 4, 32. Minus 8 into 10, minus 80. Minus 4 into 2, minus 8. 10 into 2, 20. Which is the highest and the lowest value? 32 is the highest, 80 is the lowest. So xy will lie between minus 80 and 32. Simple logic.
Rahul, can you please repeat this again? I didn't understand.
Yeah, same here.
No, you're trying to multiply now, Ankit. So they are asking you range of xy, right?
Okay.
So range means highest value minus lowest value. And you are trying to multiply. So there's a number minus 8, 2, and number minus 4 and 10. So how you multiply? So first you multiply 8 minus 8 with this and this. So what you get 32 and minus 80, right?
Right.
And then you multiply 2 with this and this. The entire application is done. That is -8 and 20. Now there are 4 values that you've got. Tell me which is the highest and lowest value. 32 is the highest.
32 and minus
32 and minus
80.
-80. So xy will lie between -80 and 32. Agreed?
Okay.
It's simple, normal. These are the question that I should not even put into the class, but just to ensure that how you multiply and all should be very clear, because in inequality sign, it's very, sometimes it becomes difficult. Question number 4, please. Take your time. No, don't rush it up. If x is greater than 0, it means they have given you x is positive. So you're not supposed to think about the negative values at all. Which of the following value could be true? There's a difference between could be true and must be true. Remember. Or else after this, should I do one tough question? Let me do, because it's so easy questions doesn't make any sense in the class. I'll do one tough question after this. Please do this. So it'll be very clear to you which of the following value could be true and must be true question. Right.
Answer C.
C, Rahul.
Why?
Oh, no, sorry, answer B.
No.
A.
I am getting C, Rahul.
Absolutely wrong. That's the reason I'm telling you, think. In these questions, if you people do mistakes, it's a disaster. Absolute disaster. You never have any idea. Please do everything very well. Take 1 more minute.
Rahul, D.
Perfect.
D, right?
Oh, yeah. Because see, x is greater than 0.
Okay,
xq
done.
is greater than x square. You take any value, 5 square greater than 4 square. Yeah. Whatever you want. 4q, no, sorry, 5q is greater than 5 square. X square is equal to x. Is this clear or not?
Just for one.
This for one
Values.
value, x is equal. So I'll just make it very clear. See here. If x is greater than 0, which of the following could be true? Could be true means for any one value of x, if it satisfies statement number 1, you have to consider this into the answer. Simple, straightforward logic. Which of the following could be true means for any one value of x, if statement number 1 satisfies. Let's say I take x is equal to 5. Now 5q is greater than 5 square. It satisfies. So statement number 1 will be in the answer. Now, statement number 2 says x square is equal to x. Imagine if I take x is equal to 1. Can I say 1 square is equal to 1? For one value, statement number 2 satisfies. So 1 and 2 has to be the answer. The answer would be either B or D. Nothing else at all. Now look for x square greater than x cube. My dear people, nowhere it is mentioned that x is an integer. So imagine if you take x is equal to half. Don't you think 1 by 4 is greater than 1 by 8? Yeah. So even this suffice. So all the above, D is the answer. Am I right?
I did what I did, Rahul. I took the same example with the option 1. Then it came false. So I did
So you should not take that. You're bad. It's simple says x cube is greater than. Oh my god. No. यहाँ पे तो you simple take x is equal to 5. But guys, these are very simple question. Now, 2-3
I
simple
think
questions.
Rahul, in that question, the challenge, not challenge exactly, but the catch was that you have to not, once we start solving it by one number, I think we should also look at the other numbers also. If it is able to solve it for one
100%.
other one also, then we are fine, right?
Point
Like
is
the
simple.
example
So
number 2.
point is simple. Moment is the could be true question, right? If it is a could be true question, you just have to look for one value. That is it satisfying all or not. Any one value satisfies statement number 1, it means this has to be in the answer choice. Any
True.
value satisfies statement number 2 has to be in the answer choice. Any value satisfies for statement number 3 because it's a could be. If it is a must be true question, then all the value satisfies this only, then it will be the answer. If any one value does not satisfy, you can't take it into the answer choice. Is that clear? Now let me make you solve one tough question, but this is the only one tough question I can actually say is there in the problem solving. So please don't go mad about it, because solving some easy question, 3-4 questions we could do in 2 minutes. That makes no sense. In class, if you don't spend time, then how will you spend time in home? Come on, do question number 20. Take 2 to 3 minutes. I've kept this at the last, but I could not resist solving such an easy question. Question number 20, and then we'll go to easy questions. Don't worry. Take your time. Don't rush it up. Take your time. Do it very slowly. Understand what is happening. I'm not speaking for next 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I'm speaking at 12:42. So please try. So sometimes problem solving questions can also get tough. So don't go mad about it. Solve it. No shit. Wrong. When you have done it again and marked the answer, right? So you simply mark.
Sorry,
You have done it again and marked the answer, you have simply marked.
I've done it again.
Oh. Should I? So you want to try? Try. Can spend time for the question.
D option I'm getting.
Okay, that's it. Try this question. This is a nice question. So let's check here. It says if x is positive, which of the following could be correct order? So these words are extremely important. If you miss this word, you are screwed up royally. Question should be read very properly, extremely properly. Which of the following could be correct ordering of 1 by x, 2x, and x square? There are 3 orders given to you over here. Obviously, in statement number 1, what you will feel so? You will say x is equal to, if you take half, then 1 by 4 is less than 1 is less than 2. This suffice, right? If I take x is equal to half, it is given that x is positive. It's very clearly mentioned to you in the question. It's exactly on the same basis what we have done the previous one, but it's a bit more complicated. So x is equal to positive is mentioned over here. You have taken x is equal to half, 1 by 4 less than 1 less than 2. You have got it. What value have you taken for statement number 2? For what value statement number 2 suffice? Because a lot of you are telling statement number D is the right answer. So what value have you taken for statement number 2? Anyone?
3 by 4.
3 by 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 3 by 4 will suffice. Yeah. So see here, the point is it comes down to the biggest problem comes that how do you take the values? The biggest problem comes how you take up the values. So in order to ensure that here you have taken x is equal to half, that's absolutely fine. But how will you get values for here and how will you get values for here? So what we need to do is that we'll have to solve this particular equation, all the equation. So I'm solving statement number 1. Despite that, I can take x is equal to half and this is statement suffice. But it's a pretty simple one. All of you can do that. But how do you solve this? So let me solve statement number 1. X square, can I write this equation as x square less than 2x or 2x is less than 1 by x? Am I right? I'm solving the first order. I'm just trying to solve the orders. That's it. So I can cancel this and this. Why I can cancel this? Because it is given to me x is positive. If it is given to you, you can do all this stuff that you do in a normal number stuff. So x is less than 2. Or I can cross multiply also because it is given to me x is positive. This is very clearly given to me x is positive. So I can cross multiply. I can say x square is less than half. That is x is less than 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2 is what? X is less than 1.414. I'll take 1.4. Now, if you remove this 0, it will come as x less than 0.7. Right? Now see here, x is less than 2 and x is less than 0.7. What is the common value? X less than 0.7. So you take any value of x less than 0.7, statement number 1 will suffice. Not only half. Half is what? 0.5. So I've taken 0.5 and statement number 1 suffice. There's a sound coming, Jadi. Agreed? So this is fine. Now let's go to statement number 2. Let's go to order number 2. Order number 2, try and solve it. Can I write it x square less than 1 by x or 1 by x is less than 2x? Simple, straightforward logic. So I can do here x cube is less than 1. That is nothing. X is less than 1. Or I can do what? 1 is less than 2x square. That is nothing but 2x square is greater than 1. That is x square is greater than half. X is greater than 1 by root 2. That is x is greater than 0.7. It means what is the common value here? That x lies between 0.7 and 1. It means you take any value of x lies between 0.7 and 1 and the order number 2 will satisfy. Because if you simply keep checking it, you will check with 1 by 2, you may check it with 1 by 3, you may check it with 2 by 3. I don't know will you have that liberty of reaching to 3 by 4 or not. Simple logic. Because 3 by 4 is 0.75 and 0.75 lies between the range 0.7 and 1. And that's the reason 3 by 4 will satisfy statement number 2. So, but if you have got a common value, you are not supposed to put any values over here. It means that this statement will satisfy, this order will satisfy for all the values that lie between 0.7 and 1. It can satisfy for 0.71, 0.72, 0.75, 0.80, whatsoever you take. It means order number 1 will suffice, order number 2 will suffice. Let's look for order number 3. So order number 3, can I solve this? Saying that 2x is less than x square or x square is less than 1 by x. Simple logic. So let's solve this. If I cut this, I get x greater than 2. Or here I'll get xq less than 1, that is x is less than 1. Now check here, x less than 1 or x greater than 2. Is there any common value? Do you feel of any common value over here?
No, no.
So if there is no common value, means there is no value that will satisfy order number 3. So your answer should be D over here. Please understand. So do not blindly start taking values when there are more than 3, when there are more than 2 orders. In 2 orders, xq less than x, x4 less than xq. These are all fine to take numbers and check it. But when there are more than 2 orders, when there are more than 2 variables in an order, that's always better that you have some sort of a formulation where you can 100% confirm that D is the answer. Because you might keep taking some random value for a statement for order number 3. It will never suffice. And in the exam time, you will go mad. You will not even try to understand. When you look into this order, 2x less than x square and x square less than 1 by x, by looking into this order, you can say no value will suffice. But in exam, your mind will not work so much. So you should know exactly if there are more than 2 orders given to you, 3 orders, how should you just solve it? Because
Ralph, the question, why haven't we taken a, instead of the 1 by 2 and these sort of numbers, why have we not taken let's say, a 5 or a 6 or a 7, because we already know x is a positive?
How can you please take now? You take any number, doesn't matter at all.
That is how I solved. So I was just checking whether, and it was, I don't know, maybe it was less complex, because the third one immediately went.
1 second. The point is ki if you take x is equal to 5 and 10 in order number 1
No,
and
only
2.
5, only 5, let's say. Because
Let's imagine take x is equal to 5. So
Yeah.
25 is less than 10. No. So this order won't suffice at all. For 5, this order will not suffice only. It says that if x is positive, which of the following could be correct ordering? It means you have to take one number. You have to at least show with one number that order suffice. Only then this can be in the answer. Agreed, Mrinal?
Okay. Yeah.
Is that clear?
No. Okay.
It says that if x is positive, which of the following could be correct ordering? So there are 3 orders given to you. So you will not take this into an answer. You will not take this order into your consideration till you have one value which satisfies the order. So when I take x is equal to half, this order suffice. That is 1 by 4 less than 1 less than 2. So this
But
is
how
very
do
easy
we
to
start
solve.
with by 1 by 2, for example? I mean, how do we arrive at 1 by 2?
Because the point is x square is less than 2x. If you take some positive number, it won't happen. It won't work. If you take 3 square, do you think 3 square 9 is less than 6? When you look into this term, Mrinal, x square, I have to take a number which satisfies my order. Now I know that for a positive number, it won't satisfy. If I take x is equal to 1, 1 is less than 2. Agreed. But if I take x is equal to 2, 4, do you think 4 is less than 4? No. So moment right with this place, I think I will start thinking ki fraction value can only work. Nothing else will work over here. Positive numbers won't work. So you'll have to think a bit before you take some numbers and all.
Okay.
Agreed. Any problem here?
Rahul, in the second one,
Yes,
you said to take values between 0.7 and 1, right?
0.71. How do why did I ask you to take values? Because I just asked you to solve the expression.
Yeah.
It become
Got
much
that. So
easier.
if I took 0.5, which is basically 1 by 2.
Then this order won't suffice. Statement number 2. You can check it by putting 1 by 2. And 1 by 2 is an easy value. You can check it quickly.
Yeah,
So
I did both. I basically took 4 and 1 by 2. It was a no case in both.
No. So that's what. Then if according to you, then this should not be taken into consideration. But if someone checks for 3 by 4, then this order is suffice, right? It suffice. Well, this order is fine. So the question says here, Shrisha, that which of the following could be correct ordering? Understand the question very well. Let me explain you the question first. The question says here, if x is positive, which of the following could be correct ordering? What do I mean by could be correct ordering? And there are 3 orders given to you, Shrisha. It simple means that for any one value of x, this order suffice. You should take this order into the consideration. Matlab, that will be your answer. So imagine if you have checked for half and you checked for 4. And according to you, this order will not suffice, right?
Yeah.
So you will not mark the answer, but you will do the wrong thing. Because there is a number that exists which suffices this order. When you say that this is not happening, it means you are overlooking the number 3 by 4.
Right, 3 by 4 is basically 0.75. So you're saying I need to take values outside of the limit of that
You have to take
of
values
0.7.
between 0.7 and 1. For all the values between 0.7 and 1, this order will suffice. But if you don't
Oh,
check
okay.
this value, Shresha, it means you are doing wrong. You checked
Got
number
it.
with your own
Got it.
convenience and you felt that order number 2 will not suffice. And
Got
that
it.
would
Got
be a
it.
wrong answer.
Got
Right?
it. Thank you. Yeah.
But see, you doing wrong in these questions also will not decrease your point tremendously at all. Absolutely no. But this is one type of this is beautiful type of a question where you can aram se sit and think. Do not worry when you're practicing math. Don't worry about timing. That is something which is 100% should be taken into consideration. If you bother about timing right now, it's all gone case. I'm telling you. Can we do one
Okay.
more question? Can we do question number 10, please? Very beautiful question. This question I should have taught you while doing that even powers cannot be predicted. But still, if you want, please try this. Question number 10. Take 2 minutes. The question can be solved in 20 seconds. You can take 2 minutes. You can also end up taking 5-6 minutes for this question. Anyone else? Answers, please. Answer E, right? C. Okay. It says what? X is greater than y square. Which of the following statement could be true? Again, and what we have learned, even powers can never be predicted. So if
We can't hear you, Rahul. Sorry.
now is it clear now?
Yes.
Perfect. So all I'm trying to say here over here, Mrinal, that it is given to you if x is greater than y square, right? And y square is greater than z4. That doesn't matter to me, whatever it is. But what we have learned, Mrinal, that even powers can never be predicted, right?
Yes.
If x is greater than y square, can I say x is greater than y or x can be less than y?
No.
I can say that, no?
X is.
If x is greater than y square, x can be greater than y or x can be less than y. So please see here. I've told you in the first class also. If x is greater than y square, now because even powers can never be predicted, x could be greater than y or x could be less than y. Simple,
Correct,
straightforward
correct.
logic.
Without
Right?
this, yeah.
Any doubt over here?
No.
So if you want to take some numbers, you can just try some numbers and check it for yourself. That's absolutely fine. Imagine if I take x is equal to 10, y is equal to 2. 10 is greater than 2 square, 10 is greater than 2. But imagine if I take x is equal to 1 by 3, y is equal to half. 1 by 3 is greater than half square, but 1 by 3 is less than half. It means what? See here, x is greater than y square, x greater than y. X is greater than y square, technically x is less than y. So even powers can never be predicted. Now just with this logic, and the question says could be true. Again, please understand there's a difference between could be true and must be true. In could be true questions, for any one value it suffice, it's fine. And I know that if x is greater than y square, for certain values x will be greater than y. For certain values x will be less than y. I have just shown it to you. Now see here, x greater than y, this order suffice. X less than y, this order suffice. X greater than y, this order suffice. So all three. It should take 20 seconds for you to mark the answer. That's it. It should not take, because the question says could be true. If it is a must be true questions, you should have put the numbers and checked everything. But when the
I
question is
didn't
could
get
be
you, Rahul.
true,
Please, can you please repeat?
yeah. So I'm trying to say simple, Amit, that if x is greater than y square, x can be greater than y or x can be less than y, right?
Yes.
Now question is what? If x is greater than y square and this is greater than z4, which of the following could be true, right? So x greater than y, this order true. X less than
Yes.
y, this order true. X greater than y, this order true. So all three.
So Rahul,
Okay.
basically, we cannot predict it for either X, Y, Z, and all the combinations that can come out of X, Y, Z are possible.
Yeah, because they are asking for could be true. Could be
Could be
means
true,
for
yeah.
any one value it will satisfy for sure. Now x is greater than y. For some value it will satisfy x is less than y, right?
Yeah.
Amit, is this clear?
Yes, Rahul.
But if you don't want to do this, I'll tell you, I'll ask you to take numbers then. So this is a easy way to do it once you are 100% sure that even powers cannot be predicted. Now, if you want to take number, imagine I take x is equal to 100. I take y is equal to 5, z is equal to 1, because I love taking number 5, 10 multiples. And that's the reason I'm doing it. Now, for all these numbers, see, my information is being satisfied or not. Can I say x square x greater than y square greater than z4? Yes or no? My statement
Yeah.
suffice the information, and statement number 1 suffice. Can I say here x is greater than y is greater than g? Check. Am I right? Tell me.
Yes.
Agreed? Now imagine if I take x as, I'm taking no second case. If I take x as, let's say 1 by 4, z as 1 by, y as 1 by 3, and z as 1 by 2. Check, is my condition sufficing? Can I say x is greater than y square and this is greater than z4? Because x is 1 by 4, which is greater than y square 1 by 9. 1 by 4 is technically greater than 1 by 9. And z is what? 1 by 16. Z4, that is 1 by half to the power 4. Am I right? Yes or no? Anyone, any doubt over here? For these values, now I'm taking a separate value because I'm trying to prove statement number 2. Please understand. So I'm taking a very different set of values, and whatever value you take should suffice the information. Is this values clear that x, for these values, can I say x is greater than y square is greater than z4? Yes or no? Tell me. Ronald.
Yeah, Rahul.
Yeah.
And for this value, can I say here, check statement number 2. Z is greater than Y is greater than X. Check 1 by 2 is greater than 1 by 3 is greater than 1 by 4. So for third statement, you can take your own values if you wish. Take your own values in homework. But this will also be 100% sufficient because which of the following statement could be true? X is greater than Y. It is 100% it will be true. You just have to take some numbers. That's it. But the question can be 100% done in 20 seconds only, I'm telling you. You don't need to spend more than 20 seconds if you know that even powers cannot be predicted. Agreed? So what should we do? Should we continue? I think you people are gone. Done for today. But listen, now we have almost 15 questions left in inequality. Or can we do one more question? That's it. And then or it's too much. Tell me. I don't simply want to go ahead. It's okay, I can stop. So we have almost how many questions left in inequality? Please tell me. So we have question number 5. Make a count. 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think we have 14 left.
14 left. So these 14 questions will not take me more than 1 hour. The 14 questions here will not take me more than 1 hour. So in the next class, what we would do is we'll finish all these 14 questions. Okay.
How are you not audible?
Can't you hear me now? Is it fine now?
Yeah, now it's fine.
Perfect. So sorry, man. So let's say in 14 questions we will be doing it. We can complete it in 1 hour, provided you please study and come. And when I say you to study and come, I'm just asking you to the question that we are left with. Please try, karo, no? Like just try for yourself. Do whatever you want to do. You do it right, you do it wrong. You be how busy are you in your life, it doesn't matter at all. See, you cannot tell me, Rahul, I can't find 3 hours time to study. Even if you are someone who is working for 15 hours, this is 100% possible. It's just that you have to find time for yourself. It is all stupidity to say that you have no time to study. Trust me. One easily you can study. If not 3 hours, imagine 2 hours for sure you can study. 1 hour you can give to verbal and 1 hour you can give to quant. So what we'll do in the next class is that we'll finish the 14 questions of inequality. And let's start the basics of absolute value also. We'll start the basics of absolute value because that's again a very important topic. Because you know what? After we are done with the inequality question, then I'll give you extra after we are done with the absolute value chapter, because please understand inequality and absolute value are exactly the same chapter. And absolute value is one of the, I would say, easiest chapter if you understand the concept well. And it could be one of the toughest chapter if you don't understand the concept well. So what I would do for you is that I'll send you inequality you have to complete. This will do. I'll send you a mail for absolute value where I'll send you some videos of absolute value. Please ensure watch the videos. In videos, almost 50% of the question that will be covering in the class will be covered and 50% will be new. So all I want that go through the videos of absolute value for sure by yourself. Then try doing the handout that will be attached in the email itself. But before that, ensure. So today is what? Today is Saturday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Till Wednesday, you will focus completely on inequality. Please ensure completely. You will focus completely on inequality. And from Wednesday onward, like Thursday, Friday, you will give to absolute value. Thursday and Friday, you will give to absolute value. Please follow this, or else it will be a problem. Now, when I say give a complete time to absolute value, there may few of you might have completed inequalities for sure. A lot of you might have done, a lot of you might have not done, but if you have not done, you have time till Wednesday. Practice as much inequality as you can. And how do you practice? I'll tell you. Thursday, Friday, you start studying absolute value. So I will give you the extra questions of inequalities and absolute value once I complete absolute value, or else it will get completely messy for you. So now what you can do, guys, here is that, what can you do over here is that I'll tell you. See here. So imagine this is the handout you are solving of inequality. So right now, ensure that you do math in such a way where questions from anywhere in the world can be done for you. So I'll give you the extra questions, but I want to give you extra questions when I'm done with absolute and inequality, absolute value and inequality both. When I'm done with absolute value. So right now, imagine some of you who wants to practice extra questions. How should you be doing it? And please ensure take as much help as you can from this place, because there is no scarcity of a question over here. So imagine you were solving question number 8 and you feel that there's a problem for you. It took a lot of time for you. You were able to do it or you were not able to do it. That doesn't matter at all. But let's say question number 8 is a place where you were trapped in when you were doing when you were doing inequality again. Your job is to just copy this question and open the Google, paste it over here. Okay. Just paste it in Google. You will see in GMAT Club, this question is discussed. Now open this question in GMAT Club. Okay. Now this question is opened over here. Please ensure, guys, GMAT Club is a place which can make you, and it can make you to an extent where 730, 747, with help of GMAT Club, you can get any score. But GMAT Club is also a place which can ruin your preparation completely. So you have to use it very wisely. So imagine this is a question that you were trapped in. It took the 20 minutes time for you to do this question and you were able to do it. Now you put this into GMAT Club. You might feel, Ki, Rahul, I think the way you have explained was tougher than what I have done. But still, now ensure that you have your own answer before you come to GMAT Club. You can 100% look how people have done over here. But this is not the issue. The issue is that if you want to solve, now this is the question that you were trapped in. So come below the page, absolutely down the page, absolutely down. And there are lots of similar types of a question given to you. So click this question over here. Just click this question. Now, please try doing this question by yourself and check the answer over here. The answer to this question is C. Imagine you have got answer A, or let's say some of you have got answer B. Now, your job is not to come and look into the explanation. If you do this, no one in the world can improve your math. I can write it and give it to you. This is one of the best places because you have to be associated with GMAT Club. One thing is very sure. People don't tell you, but I'm being very wise and telling you all these things because this is the way. Because when you start solving questions from GMAT Club independently by yourself, and there is no scarcity of a question over here, you will have for every chapter 1 lakh questions over here. I will also give you extra questions, but it will be after absolute value. But till then, imagine I've told you time till Wednesday that study inequality. Now the point is, if doing the same questions again makes no sense also. If you're 100% done with the handout question, try to use your head over here. Just now try solving this. Now imagine you have got answer A and the answer here is C. So don't challenge the answer for sure. Ensure that you are wrong. You are 100% wrong. Now you need to re-go, do it again. Till you get answer C, don't come down. And if you start coming down and looking into the explanations, you are screwed up royally, I'm telling you. No one in the world can help you. Now, once you are done with this, check here, just go, click any questions. The point is you should be so confident that you go and do any question. That entire scariness factor of yours to do any unseen question should go. And it will go through GMAT Club itself. So now come here, now start doing these questions. Get whatever answer you want. It doesn't matter. Let's say answer is E. You have got answer C or you have got answer B. It means if you have got answer B, so according to you, question is sufficient to mark from statement number 2, but answer is it means you have a yes or no situation. So think of a no situation. Ensure that never look into the explanations at all till you have your own explanation and take as much time as you can. You are not supposed to bother that Rahul, I'm just solving in 1 hour, I could solve only one question. That one question is 1,000 times better than in 1 hour you solving some 20 questions. That would make no sense at all. So this is a way to study maths, guys. If you go any other way, it's a problem. And it doesn't matter to what extent you are, but whatever is your background. Some of you may say that Rahul, I'm very weak and all. It doesn't at all matter. No one is weak at all. It's all about that you have never had the right way of studying maths. It's as simple as it. I can tell you. It is no, matlab you can 100% say I want to look into the explanation because I'm weak. No, you are not weak and all. Just think on it. And when I ask you to think on the question, I simply ask you to read questions as many times as possible. Play around with the question. It says xy is greater than x square, y square. It simple means if you can go ahead with this question, go ahead. Or else bring the left hand side, right hand side to left hand side. Xy into xy minus 1 greater than 0. Now the question becomes much simple. Xy into xy minus 1 greater than 0. It means is a and b greater than 0. Now you have to just prove xy or xy minus 1 is greater than 0 or not. And if this is the way you are preparing, trust me, you will have no issues in your life. I'll give you extra questions, but my extra questions consist of inequality and absolute value both. So I want to complete absolute value before I give you extra questions. When I give you, and I ensure you, whatever questions I'm giving you will be 99% of the questions will be in GMAT club. And the question that is not in GMAT club, don't break your head into it. Because GMAT club approves the authenticity of a question, that if you're solving a question and it's available in GMAT club, you are solving a right question. But if simply solving some extraordinary tough question from a lot of people bring questions from CAT and all, they still try. If you want to try, you go ahead and try. No issues about it. But if a question which is not there in GMAT club, you can 100% leave that. That's simply waste of your time. If you want to challenge yourself, solve some CAT type of a question, please solve. I don't care about it. But ensure that 100% try to explore GMAT club as much as you can. GMAT club is a place which can make your future in GMAT for sure. And it is also a place which can completely screw up your preparation. If you have that habit of going on looking into solution, it's a gone case, I'm telling you. Yes, Mrinal. I'll create a WhatsApp group, Mrinal. Tomorrow I'll send you the link for sure, 100%. And all of you can join that group and do that. Tomorrow I'll send you a link for sure.
Thanks,
After the
Dr.
class, 100%. And guys, tomorrow class is gonna be a very important one, I'll tell you. We are starting assumptions in the class. Extremely important and very entertaining also. I promise that. If you have to study anything, you study it today. Do not study anything in the morning tomorrow. And please ensure that solve those 9 questions. It will be really fun in the class. Okay. Chalo Phil. Bye. Take care.
Thank you.
So next class, we are doing absolute value, as I've told you. Be prepared. Bye.
So
Yeah.
the recording for this lecture, when are you going to give?
I'll give you by night today. For sure. But I'll send you by evening. You know, I'll have to create a frame. I'll have to create a mail where I put everything of the absolute value also. So I'll give you the recordings. By evening, you will get it for sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you very much, Rahul.